Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Sorry, we are just like 3, 4 minutes late, but we are here for an interesting session today. And I have here Rupa. Rupa, hi.
Hey Trisha, good to be back.
Uh,
Another interesting day, another
yes.
interesting topic for you guys, indeed.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, this we decided to do this to add in one very interesting educational perspective, especially for teachers, but also for others who are interested in practicing Meipadam and Karlakattai and. To bring this in front of people that how these systems are deeply connected to each other, considering that Meipadam and Karlakattai itself is such an ancient system, right?
Yeah.
Let's start. This is everyone who's watching. This is kind of an introduction into a bigger course that we are doing over the weekend, where you'll get to learn in detail. But let's come to that a bit later. And so our topic is Ayurveda and Meipadam and Karlakatai practice. Rupa, like, what's the connection? I know I'm asking you like a really broad question,
It is.
but we
No,
need to
but
start somewhere. So
somewhere,
just get us
and that is
started.
a question I think most people will have. Why are we connecting Ayurveda? It's to do with medicine, and Karlakata and Maipadam is movement. Why are we connecting the two? Understandably, but that's because there is not as much information available about what Ayurveda is truly about. And it is, like I said, I could talk on days on that topic, but I'll try and keep myself minimum. So Ayurveda, to give you a basic perspective as to why we are connecting the two, is Ayurveda is mostly and mainly about maintaining and preserving health. Swasthavritam is its main focus. So the idea of the idea of doshas, understanding the mahabhutas and how they influence the body, is not to cure diseases. That comes as a latter element. If something has happened beyond your control, injury has happened, or whatever reason you have let go of your health and then diseases happen, of course there is a huge element of Ayurveda which is focused on curing diseases and all of that. But the main focus of Ayurveda is not curing diseases, it is not massages, it is not medicine, it is about preserving health. You maintain your health. So how do you achieve that? So the main core concepts, I'll just quickly run past. I know it is massive, but it'll help people start thinking on the right lines, I hope. So the idea of Ayurveda is everybody has all three doshas. So everybody is made of the five elements: the earth, the ether, sky, which is sky, wind, vayu, water, jala, prithvi, earth element, and fire,
Fire.
agni.
Hmm.
Agni, yeah. So the five elements. So Ayurveda believes that everything in creation is made of these five elements. So bodies, animals, nature, everything is a combination of these five elements in different proportion. So ultimately, these five elements are broken into doshas, the three doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha. So they are the three doshas, which is a combination of these panchamahabhutas in different proportions. So once you understand that, then you go about figuring what your dosha is. All of us have all the three doshas. It's not that you're just one dosha. You're All of us have all the three doshas in us, but we have it in varying proportions. So knowing which is your dominant dosha is at the core. So once you, and there are loads of free questionnaires available online. Just go, Google it and see how do I find my Ayurvedic dosha, and it'll give you loads of questionnaires. Do about half a dozen questionnaires or so that you get a good holistic perspective from all angles. So how is a doshas figured out is looking at your mental picture. So how your personalities, are you a short tempered person, are you a calm person, do you talk a lot, are you a quiet person? So all of these mental attributes are taken into consideration. Then the physical attributes, how your body, shape of your joints, muscles, you put on weight easily, don't put on weight easily, all of that elements. So the physical elements are taken into consideration. and also your physiological, so how your body functions. Do you feel hungry very quickly, and if you feel hungry, do you have to eat right away, or do you does your body suffer for it, or you don't feel hungry at all, you can go the entire day and you feel a bit packaged, but that sort of a thing. So it's physiological element, physical element, and your mental psychological element. All of this put together gives you your dosha. Dosha is nothing but your constitution, your base constitution. Once you know what your constitution is, you generally will be, you'll have a varying degree, that I am mainly pitta constitution, followed by vata, followed by kapha, or whatever, in whatever order. But it'll be one that is dominant, the next dominant, and the least dominant, but they'll all be there in different variations. So once we know, why do we need to know this? Once we know this, then we can cater our diet and lifestyle and everything around this. That is the idea. So that was the biggest gift of Ayurveda to us, to help preserve our health by knowing what our constitution is and working everything else around it. So, for example, if you're a Pitta constitution, for example, the fire element is dominant. You will be the sort of person who's likely short tempered, who can't handle spicy food. You get very much more impacted by eating spicy food. You'll have heartburn and all sorts of health issues. But if you're a kapha person, you can get away with eating lots of spicy food and not have any impact. So it's like understanding your body, how it responds to the environment, your diet, your lifestyle, even exercises. Ayurveda has told you how to exercise, when to exercise, how to help your body manage exercising. All of these elements are there. So that's why understanding the body from the Ayurvedic perspective helps maintain health, preserve health, and do the right kind of exercises at the right amount at the right time. So all of
mm,
those elements are fed in by Ayurveda. I hope that sort of all adds in and making sense. Yeah, Trisha?
mm-hmm. So can you give us an example? How does this knowledge help us in our practice of Meipadam and Karlakattai?
So the main idea is, once you know your dosha, you'll be either kapha dominant, vata dominant, or pitta dominant, and each of them have a very distinct body structure. So the kapha is big, bulky, strong body. It can take more effort more easily. Whereas vata is the other end of the spectrum. Kapha is the strongest, vata is the weakest, pitta is right in the middle. So vata is generally those thin, petite people who get tired more easily, have a much more thinner body, not as chunkier joints, much more slimmer structure. So they can, so knowing where your body is at and your dosha is at, you can then cater doing Maipadam or Karlakattai accordingly. So kapha people can get maybe do a workout of 2 hours and get away with it. Vata people can't. So if you're a vata body type and you're saying, oh, my teacher is doing 2 hours, or my friend is doing 2 hours, or I should also do 2 hours, they might be kapha people. But if you're a vata person, you're going to be causing more damage to your body rather than benefit. So the whatever Maipadam and Karlakattai we do has an impact on your actual physique and your mental structure, and works with your entire dosha constitution as well. So it's a systemic impact. It is not just working your arms or shoulder alone. It has a systemic impact. So that is what we try and understand by understanding Ayurveda. We understand how Maipadam impacts the different body types and how you should do. So a vata person would just probably need to do half an hour or 45 minutes, and the body will benefit from it. So you have to understand your strengths and limitations. That is what Ayurveda sort of teaches you or tells you about. So once you know your body type, you can work with it. And maybe vata people can do more repetitions, which kapha people can't. They might be able to do one big chunk 2 hours, and that's it. I will not touch it for another 2 days. Whereas vata person might do 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes 3 times a day, and be better for it. So it is this sort of nuanced understanding and thinking, and respecting that everybody is unique. That sort of understanding. What some works
Mm,
for somebody may not work for me, and what works for me doesn't work for the next person. So
mm,
that
mm, mm,
understanding of your energy levels, your body type, your strengths and limitations, it sort of
mm,
it introduces you to your body.
mm. Okay, so I know I'm oversimplifying this, but let's say for bringing clarity to everyone who's watching, uh, let's say practicing with Gada will be a bad idea for Vata dosha person.
Yes, very much so. To start with Gada or to
Mm,
jump into Gada too soon, too deep will sort of
mm,
impact them more negatively than positively. In the
mm,
sense,
mm, mm,
you see, if your limit is, uh, for example, if a car can go maximum only 50 kilometers an hour, that is the maximum capacity, and you're trying to make it run for 80 kilometers an hour, of course, the car is going to break down.
mm,
But if you have a very strong high end car which can do easily 100,
mm,
then yeah, you can do 80, 90, or touch 100. But if you're using 100 kilometers and a strong car to run only for 20 kilometers an hour or 30 kilometers an hour, that car is also not going to benefit from it. It's going to break down. So you
mm,
understand the car is like the body. So knowing what your limitations and capacity is, you can accordingly
mm,
plan and train and choose your training accordingly. That is the idea.
mm, mm. Okay. Okay. So, okay, I understand what you're saying. So, but you see, most of the people they are practicing Meipadam and Karlakattai through in these group classes.
Hmm.
So, what can they take away from this? Like, if they know, if they let's say they gain knowledge about this, uh, like what change can they make? Because everyone is joining a group class, right? Where the class
Yes,
is same for everyone.
absolutely, absolutely. But you can pick and choose with what works for you. You will be more aware of your strengths and limitations. So the class is common, but you can pick and choose what works for you and not. So if you're a Vata person, for example, and you have had a very stressful day, then you don't want to do the entire 1 hour class or 50 minutes class. You might just want to choose and do 15, 20 minutes and then call it a day. So
Hmm.
that awareness that this is my body's type, this is my limitation, and I don't want to push it because then that is going to make things worse for me, is an understanding which even in a group
Hmm.
class people can pick and choose and work with it. And also things
Hmm.
like if somebody is doing and also the speed, the pace, you can manage the pace in a group class. So if you're a kapha person, you can probably tend to do more the pace, you can increase the pace, it will benefit you. But for a vata person, to increase the pace will be detrimental. So it is about breathing and calming your body. It is more difficult for a vata person to ground themselves and center themselves. Not that it is not
Hmm.
possible, but it is more effort. Whereas for a kapha person, to center them, to keep their breathing deep, is more easily achieved.
Hmm. Hmm.
Keeping
Hmm.
all these differences in mind, you can accordingly cater even a group class to your personal body type,
Hmm.
managing the pace, the repetition, the extent of the class, being focused on certain things which you need to focus more on. So, for example, a Vata
Hmm.
person might need to be more focused on the breathing than a Kapha person would need to be. The Kapha person might need to up their pace because they generally may not
Hmm.
be at a higher pace. So that is what they
Hmm.
need to focus on. So the group class is
Hmm.
the same, but you need to take different things that work for your body. Does that make
Hmm. Hmm.
sense?
Hmm. Yeah, 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 it
Yeah.
does. Okay.
I think we have
Okay.
Nikhil Chabra asking how to know which is our body type. So, yeah, so there are lots of online questionnaires that you can pick up and
Hmm.
do a variety of questionnaires. Don't just do one,
Yeah.
do about four, five, six, doesn't matter, but do a few of them
Hmm.
to then get a consensus that this is your body type. And also, you will
Hmm.
understand different body types as you do the questionnaire. So, you probably know
Hmm.
yours and you'll also know your family members. Oh, my uncle is this, or my daughter is this, or my father is that, sort of thing. um, so that will also help. um,
Rupal, can you hear me?
I can hear you. All good, Trisha.
Ah, okay. Okay. So, yeah, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, 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 I can.
Okay, okay. Okay. So now give us an example when it comes to teachers. I guess, in group class, it's going to be difficult to cater to everyone. But let's say, some person decides that, okay, they want to go into learning this, into more depth. So they would like a teacher who can teach him or her depending on this knowledge in a one-to-one class. Let's say some student might decide that they want to do practice according to, they do want to learn from a teacher who knows about this and who can teach them according to this knowledge. So now, can you just give me like a simple example of how a teacher who knows about how to do these things can teach someone in a one-to-one class?
So if it's a one-to-one class, of course, that simplifies things massively. So a teacher who's aware of what the student's body type can accordingly cater the choice of exercises and the pace and the repetitions accordingly. So, for example, a kapha person who's a much more strong body type, you can probably have increased pace. So you can keep going. It doesn't have to be 108 count. It can even go double 216 count easily. And then it is also about more focusing on even the Karlakattai choice in those classes. For a kapha person, could be you can err on the side of caution and go for a slightly higher one than a lower one. So if for
Hmm.
example, if you start with on an average 2 kilos for a average for a average person starting Karlakata, you can easily, maybe depending on the height and weight, of course, all of that consideration, you can even consider 2.5 or closer to three.
Hmm.
It is possible. Of course, it is case by case basis, but a lot of these elements of the exercise, the choice of exercise, you can do much more strenuous ones with the kapha person more easily, because they have the stamina and the body to go through it, and they will benefit for
Hmm.
it, and they need it also. The kapha person, they
Hmm.
need to get moving more. Vata person
Hmm.
needs to rest and calm a bit. So it is like
Hmm.
understanding those variations in the body type. So they need to be moved, they have to be moved for the kapha to continue being balanced. So you could have a
Hmm.
body type, and if you are keeping that the body dosha balanced, then you're going to be in good health for a long time. But if you
Hmm.
don't balance that, so for if a kapha person is who will tend to inertia more, they tend to not want to move more, they like to be just sitting and not doing much. That is they can easily slip into that mode without much effort, whereas a vata person will
Yeah.
not slip into that mode. They want to be running
Hmm.
and doing all the time. So it is
Hmm.
understanding that difference. So for a kapha person to not slip into that mode, you have to give
Hmm.
them ideas as to how they can keep themselves active. So getting more
Hmm.
functional, like we spoke about last time, functional training even beyond our exercise class, to get them keeping moving throughout the day is something that they have to pay extra attention to, and the teacher can
Hmm.
help achieve that. So
Hmm.
it is that understanding that, and also it's empowering for the person who is doing it. It's empowering for the
Hmm.
student. Anybody who understands their body type are sorted for life. And that is not just in
Hmm.
terms of managing your exercise routine or karlakate and everything, but also how do you eat, when do you sleep, how much do you sleep. All your activities can be guided by this understanding of dosha, and it is so
Hmm. Hmm.
simple. You don't it is not that you need to have a science degree, or you need to have that a certain background to understand this is actually, if you look deep into it, it is common sense. So
Hmm.
if something gets damaged by getting wet, you don't get it, let it get wet. It is as simple as that. So if something like for a spicy, if spice is going to damage a pitta body, you don't eat as much spice, or
Hmm.
balance, if you do happen to eat a lot of spice, balance it out in some way. So it is this sort of
Hmm.
understanding, very nuanced but very practical understanding of your day to day life, which is what
Hmm.
Ayurveda gives you. And definitely it also feeds into the understanding of how you do Meipadam and Karlakattai, which is more easily
Hmm.
done if you know what you are meant to do and how it is meant to benefit you.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I think, and also it's not when it comes to, especially, I mean, when it comes to both Meipadam and Karlakatai, you can still give a lot of variation, as I can see, to all people of different types of
Body
doshas,
type.
because we just have so much variety of movements, right?
True indeed.
So I guess, for example, if I have to just add one example, it will be a nice idea to make Vata people stick to maybe Padi Karla for a longer time
Yes,
with,
yes,
like neuromuscular coordination and
yes,
sticking to Padi
absolutely.
Karla exercises, so
Correct, correct.
I understand. I get it. So I guess I mean, I'm just giving an example, but I
Yes,
know we can go into this quite deep. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Now coming to like these different concepts of ritucharya and dinacharya and all these things. So when you're going to do the workshop on this weekend, you'll be like giving some idea about these concepts also.
So yeah, so we will mainly be focusing on the exercise element of Ayurveda and what Ayurveda has to say about the exercise for different dosha types. So we will of course be
Hmm.
covering um, the time of the day, so that is dinacharya, which time of the day exercising is better and not, and how
Yeah,
they all have a
yeah,
different influence on the body. So
yeah.
that is the dinacharya. The ritucharya is based on the season. So which season
Season.
you are much
Yeah,
more better for doing exercises, which in which season you should do more exercise, which season you should do
yeah,
less. So people,
yeah,
there is a difference. So every season has a different impact on your body. It makes you feel different. So
yeah.
registering that connection also means
Hmm.
you get more out of it. So if you do
Yeah,
the wrong thing at the wrong time, you're going down the wrong path and you're going to cause more damage. But if you do the
yeah,
right thing at the right time, you are getting more benefit out of it. So it is
yeah,
catering that nuanced way of looking at life, and it is not one thing that fits everyone, one blanket fitting everybody. It's never the
yeah,
case. So it
yeah,
is that nuanced understanding of your body, the environment, and the health, exercise. It's a very beautiful, wonderful dynamics which has so many variables and possibilities to it. So
yeah, yeah,
it is quite
yeah.
exciting when you sort of cater it like that. You benefit more from it.
Right, right, right. I mean, I mean, looking from a perspective of just a simple, let's say, practitioner, I can see that someone with, let's say, Vata dosha, if you start practicing Gada by seeing some viral videos on YouTube, it's going to actually make your life hell, right?
Absolutely. You're
Because,
opening yourself to
yeah.
injuries, all sort of possibilities.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Just quickly touching, just like touching on this topic while we are like almost signing off.
Yeah.
What is your understanding of, because I'm talking about this because these kind of practices in isolation in isolation are becoming quite popular, which I see is not very productive for anyone. Let's say, for example, Kumbhaka.
Mm.
So, what is your understanding of Kumbhaka itself? And also, do you think that something like just pranayama or Kumbhaka is enough for anyone?
uh, Life is all about balances. People ideally want a one pill that will sort their problem, or one thing that will be the answer to their problem. And I have had this so many times with a lot of people saying, oh, just doing this will not this get rid of my problem. There is one thing over the years that I have realized, and I'm 100% sure of, is there is no one question having just one answer. It is layered, it is nuanced, there are loads of variables and dynamics. Life is not very black and white as people prefer it to be. The mind prefers it to be black and white. Either do this or do that, and that's it, life will be sorted. But life doesn't work ever like that, no matter what you take it. Our cooking, our clothes, what is simple and straightforward? Everything has got so many layers and dynamics to it. So similarly, even in terms of what you do to benefit your health, only pranayam is not going to do anything at all. Only pranayam doing, I'm not going to do anything else, and I'm going to, out in the wind with my diet and everything else, lifestyle and everything. I just do pranayam and I'll be brilliantly healthy. No, that's not how life works. Or just doing great, eating great food and then letting go of everything else, not going to happen. It has to be, fortunately or unfortunately, a combination of multiple factors which all feed into your health, feed into your well-being. So including Kumbhaka, Pranayama, Karlakattai, Meipadam, diet, lifestyle, mental health, social health, everything comes into play. I know it sounds very complicated and maybe even paradoxical to some people, but you start doing one thing at a time, change one thing at a time, and build up. And you will get it all in place soon. and you will see the difference. So please don't
Yeah.
look for one stop solutions. They don't exist. It's very tempting, but they don't exist. And
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
selling you it is selling you snake oil. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I am sorry to
Yeah. I
break
know.
people's
I know.
bubbles, but yeah, I rather tell them the
Yeah.
truth
Yeah.
and get them working to in the right direction. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
do you want to share a bit more about the course we're doing this weekend, Trisha?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, so this weekend we are doing this workshop. Actually, we thought that we'll keep this workshop exclusively for teachers of Meipadam and Karlakattai. But then I see a topic like this can be so beneficial for anyone who wants to go deeper into the subject.
Correct,
So
correct.
if you are interested, I'm going to put all the details. I think by tonight I'll put a poster and details on the social media. But otherwise, also my WhatsApp contact is there in this post. You can directly get in touch with me. But we are doing this workshop on Ayurveda and Meipadam Karlakattai. We are going into detail into this topic. Then the topic of fascia. Then also we'll be exploring the topic of foot mechanics in traditional environment and how you can still what to do to still make it relevant in the modern spaces, right? So these are some very interesting topics which we are going to teach about on this upcoming weekend. It's not just good for people who are already teaching or teachers. It's also good for anyone who is interested in learning Meipadam and Karlakatai in a deeper way. So even if you are learning from some teacher, you will know whether you are learning properly or not, right?
Yeah.
So okay. So yeah, I will be sharing details by tonight mostly, but otherwise, as I said, my WhatsApp number is in the description of this post, this video. Get in touch directly, and I'll send you the details. Okay, so yeah, that's it from my side. Rupa, anything from your
Yeah,
side?
that's about it. Yeah, I highly recommend the course because it's very interesting topic which a lot of people don't talk about. So, like Trisha said, we're talking about the foot mechanics. We're talking about Ayurveda and exercising in general, and including Maipadam and Karlakatai. We are focusing on the alignment and general fascia health, which are all elements which are not spoken about as much, but which are very, very important for your general well-being, irrespective of whether you're doing Maipadam or Karlakatai or not. General understanding of well-being and health will hugely be benefited from this workshop if you can
Mm,
attend it.
mm.
So yeah, that's about it, I guess, and we'll come back again soon with another interesting topic, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Thanks, and we'll see you back soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good,
Thank you.
good luck, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Cheers to you all. Bye.